Tonight, you will likely eat more sugar in a single snack than an Ice Age hunter would have found in an entire month of walking. You can't stop eating it because your body is running a 3 million-year-old survival program, completely unaware that the famine it's preparing for is never going to come. Look closely at your pantry. Sugar is hiding everywhere, tucked into your bread, mixed into your yogurt, and poured into your pasta sauce. Without even trying, a person today eats more sugar in a single week than many ancient humans would have scavenged in months. Every single time that sweetness hits your tongue, your brain lights up like you just found a hidden treasure. This reaction is entirely deliberate. Your intense reaction to a plate of cookies is a hardwired prehistoric biological hack running right on schedule. To understand why your brain is so easily hijacked by a simple donut, we have to travel back to the brutal, scarce world where that survival software was originally written. Let's rewind 40,000 years, right into the middle of the Ice Age. Our ancestors did not live in a world of brightly lit supermarket aisles. They lived in a landscape defined by hunger. Dinner meant pulling tough roots out of the dirt, chewing on fibrous wild grasses, and cracking open antelope bones to scrape out the raw marrow. Even the fruit they managed to find looked completely alien to us. If you picked an ancient apple, it was tiny and sour. Crack open a wild watermelon, and the inside was pale and bitterly unpleasant. This animation shows a simple, life-saving rule our brains learned over millions of years of trial and error. Out in the wild, bitter tastes usually signal that a plant is poisonous, but sweetness signals safe, dense energy. Imagine moving through the dry, open grasslands of early East Africa. Your stomach is constantly empty, and the physical sensation of starvation is a daily background noise you simply have to endure. Then you notice bees disappearing into a crack in a rock face. Inside is a massive reserve of thick, golden honey. You have no ropes and no protective gear. You climb anyway, letting the swarms sting your hands and face hundreds of times, enduring intense pain just to reach those calories. This behavior is heavily documented even today. Anthropologists studying the Hadza hunter-gatherers in Tanzania watch modern people perform this exact highly dangerous climb to secure wild honey. The drive for sugar is so strong that humans actually formed a business partnership with a wild animal to find it. This bird is called a honey guide. It literally leads hunters through the wilderness directly to hidden hives, so the humans can break them open and share the spoils. When you finally got your hands on something sweet, there was no refrigerator waiting back home. Your brain treated that sugar as an emergency opportunity, demanding that you eat every last drop right there on the spot before a bear or a bird could steal it. Humans, however, eventually learned how to manipulate their environment faster than biology could adapt. Around 8,000 years ago in New Guinea, people figured out how to plant and grow sugarcane on demand. The next major leap happened in India, where early chemists learned to boil that liquid sugar down into hard crystals. Suddenly, sweetness didn't rot or spoil. It could be stored in sacks and traded across oceans. By the time Queen Elizabeth I ruled England, this crystallized sugar was incredibly valuable. It was an exotic luxury imported at great expense, available only to the absolute richest members of society. Because sugar decays enamel, English nobles began walking around with entirely black, rotting teeth. Instead of being embarrassed, they flaunted it. Having a mouth full of decay was undeniable proof to everyone else that you were wealthy enough to afford endless sugar. By removing the natural expiration date from fruit and honey, humans took a rare, life-saving resource and turned it into a hoardable commodity. This created a permanent gap between our new world of abundance and the ancient hunger that still dictates how we eat. By the 1700s, mass industrialization swept the globe. Giant mills ground sugarcane into a cheap, everyday staple for working-class families, introducing a volume of sweetness our bodies were never built to handle. Today, modern food companies know exactly how your ancient brain operates. They hire teams of scientists to design foods with precise mathematical ratios of sugar, fat, and crunch, required to bypass your natural fullness cues and keep you reaching for the next bite. This chart shows the physiological difference between natural food and modern products. If you eat a whole orange, you have to chew and digest the physical fiber, resulting in a slow, steady release of energy. But if you drink 40 grams of liquid sugar and a modern soda, you get an immediate, massive spike directly into your bloodstream. That rapid rush of calories completely tricks your ancient brain. It sets off alarms in your head, reacting as if you just stumbled across a wildly rare jackpot of honey, screaming at you to consume it all immediately. We are now surrounded by so much engineered abundance that natural foods actually struggle to compete. A fresh, ripe strawberry can taste almost dull and bland when your taste buds are constantly overwhelmed by a candy bar formulated in a laboratory. This biological drive is so deeply woven into us that it shapes our core emotional lives. We celebrate birthdays with cake, give chocolate to those we love, and call our partners sweetheart. So when you wander into the kitchen at 11 o'clock at night looking for a snack, you are not failing a test of discipline. You are actively fighting millions of years of survival instinct telling you to pack on calories for a harsh winter. You are a magnificent wild ape running outdated survival software in a modern zoo. The treasure cave never empties, and your brain still hasn't realized the hunt is finally over.